Africa, the land of majestic wildlife. The animals we often see in movies and books are gradually disappearing. The black rhinoceros, African forest elephant, and lions, symbols of the wild, are facing the threat of extinction. In this video, we will explore the reasons why many African species are endangered and the efforts being made to conserve them. The wildlife habitats in Africa are under severe threat due to population growth, urban expansion, and agricultural activities. Rainforests, savannas, and other vital ecosystems have been converted into farmland, residential areas, and industrial zones. Habitat loss not only reduces the space where animals can live but also depletes essential food and water resources for them. The black rhinoceros, African forest elephants, and many other species have been pushed into smaller areas, reducing their ability to reproduce and maintain their populations. Many animals that once had vast habitats now must move into reserves, where space is limited, and they frequently face conflicts with humans. Infrastructure development, such as roads and hydroelectric dams, also disrupts traditional migration routes, causing significant ecological stress. Illegal hunting is one of the main reasons many animal species in Africa are in critical danger. Thousands of rhinos, elephants, and other animals are poached every year for their horns, tusks, and other valuable body parts that fetch high prices on the international black market. Rhino horns, falsely believed to have medicinal properties, are highly sought after, pushing the black rhinoceros to the brink of extinction. African elephants face a similar fate, as ivory tusks are seen as symbols of wealth and power. Despite efforts to protect these animals and strict laws, poaching groups continue to operate, driven by the enormous profits from illegal trade. Modern technology, such as sniper rifles, motor vehicles, and even helicopters, is used to hunt these wild animals. As a result, the populations of these species have drastically declined, making it difficult for them to recover. Even well-guarded reserves are targeted by armed poaching groups, making the fight for conservation more challenging than ever. Climate change is having severe impacts on wildlife habitats and species in Africa. The rise in global temperatures, along with extreme weather events such as droughts, floods, and desertification, is threatening the survival of many species. One of the most evident consequences is the Sahara Desert expanding southwards, reducing the size of savannas and forests, which are critical habitats for animals like elephants, lions, and leopards. Once fertile lands rich in food and water are becoming barren, depriving animals of the resources they need to survive. Prolonged droughts are causing natural water sources like lakes, rivers, and ponds to dry up, forcing many species to travel farther in search of water. This leads to increased tension between wildlife and humans, as animals like elephants and giraffes encroach on agricultural areas in search of food and water, causing conflicts with local communities. Even well-managed nature reserves face this challenge as shrinking resources become insufficient to support wildlife populations in addition to habitat degradation. Climate change is also altering the reproductive and migratory patterns of animals. Species that rely on weather cues for migration, such as zebras and antelopes, now struggle as rainy and dry seasons become unpredictable, causing them to migrate at the wrong times, mismatched with available food sources. This reduces their chances of survival in an increasingly harsh environment. Moreover, climate change is diminishing biodiversity, making it harder for species to adapt to the rapid environmental changes. Some animals may not find suitable food due to changes in plant life, while others face increased competition for dwindling resources, leading to a decline in population numbers. Conflicts between wildlife and humans in Africa are becoming increasingly severe due to the continuous expansion of agricultural activities and urbanization. As the human population grows rapidly, many areas that were once forests and savannas, home to animals like elephants, lions, and giraffes, have been converted into farmland, ranches, and residential zones. This significantly reduces wildlife habitats, forcing animals to encroach on areas near human settlements in search of food and water. African elephants, one of the most affected species, often destroy crops and cause substantial damage to farmers, as natural resources become scarce due to habitat loss and climate change. Elephant herds migrate closer to farms in search of food, leading to conflicts with local communities. Farmers, in an effort to protect their crops, often resort to measures like electric fences or even traps and poison, resulting in the death of many elephants. Lions and other predators also become targets when they hunt livestock, causing major losses for farmers. To protect their livelihoods, many locals resort to hunting these predators, further increasing the risk of their extinction. Human-wildlife conflict not only harms animals but also threatens the livelihoods of local communities. Conservation efforts, including the creation of wildlife reserves and compensation programs for farmers, have been implemented to reduce conflicts. However, solving this issue in the long term requires a balance between economic development and wildlife protection. Conservation efforts in Africa are being intensified to prevent the decline of wildlife populations, particularly those that are critically endangered. One of the key measures is the establishment of wildlife reserves and national parks, where animals can live safely, protected from illegal hunting and habitat loss. Large reserves like Kruger National Park in South Africa and Serengeti in Tanzania have become vital refuges for species such as rhinos, lions, and elephants. In addition to protecting these areas, modern technology is being utilized to monitor and safeguard wildlife. Drones and remote surveillance cameras are used to oversee vast regions, allowing for the timely detection and prevention of poaching activities. Rangers receive specialized training and are well equipped to handle armed poaching groups, enhancing security within the reserves. Furthermore, captive breeding programs have helped restore the numbers of some endangered species. The critically endangered black rhino has been successfully bred in reserves and later reintroduced into the wild. These programs not only help preserve species but also maintain genetic diversity, which is crucial for the long-term survival of animal populations. Conservation efforts also include educating local communities about the importance of protecting wildlife. Educational programs aim to shift public perception, encouraging people to protect nature rather than come into conflict with animals. Economic support from ecotourism is also a crucial factor, as many locals benefit from conservation efforts rather than exploiting wildlife. We cannot stand by while Africa's wildlife is being pushed to the brink of extinction. Each individual and every small action can contribute to the protection of these precious animals. You can support conservation organizations by donating financially or volunteering for wildlife protection programs. Additionally, raising awareness in your community about the importance of wildlife, whether through sharing information, participating in online campaigns, or supporting international laws that prevent poaching, is also a meaningful way to help make responsible consumer choices. Avoiding products made from wildlife such as ivory or rhino horns. Ecotourism is another way to contribute, as much of the profits from these activities go toward conservation efforts and creating jobs for local communities. The survival of African wildlife depends on the actions we take today. We've just explored the reasons why many African species are facing extinction and the conservation efforts underway to save them. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to like, share, and follow the channel to stay updated on more fascinating information about nature and wildlife.